This is the Tropicfeel Lift Roller Bag. I bought it back in November 2024 for £167.40, which was down from £270. Clearly I bought it on one of their sales. Now I bought this bag entirely with my own money. Tropicfeel are not sponsoring me to do this review whatsoever. I just fell for their marketing. They are very good at it, and they are trying to sell you a lifestyle, a dream. Do you need this roller bag to have a vacation full of adventure? No. However, if you are in the market for a roller bag, then this is one that you might want to consider. And hopefully this review will give you as unbiased an opinion as possible as to whether or not you should purchase one. We'll start by running through the features of the outside of the bag first. So it's made up of really durable feeling material. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's probably on their website. But the top or the front of the bag is a bit of a soft shell sort of feel to it. As you can see, you can really push it in. And then the back or the bottom of the bag is a hard shell case, or hard-ish kind of shell case. You can push it in on the sides, but on the back it's not so, can't push it in as much. So I would say that it is kind of half and half hard, half soft. So it has a big zip on the front, which is weather sealed. All the zippers on here are YKK zippers. It can very easily fit in a 16-inch laptop, I'd say. Also has a top quick stow pocket here with a sort of soft material liner and a mesh pocket for storing additional items, again with a soft mesh liner. It has an expansion zip where the zippers are for it. It starts here at the bottom and then just goes all the way around and will give you an additional 10 litres of storage. It has these compression straps, and the good thing about these compression straps is they go underneath this front compartment. So if you put a laptop in there, it's not going to compress the laptop down. It's got 3 carrying handles, one on kind of front bottom-ish, one on the side here, and then one on the very top. But it doesn't have one on this side. It has 2 side zipper compartments on each side. These don't look like they're weather sealed, but they do have some kind of protection over the top. So they're somewhat weather sealed, but it's not the same material as the front pocket here, which is looks to be a lot more water resistant. Has 2 rolly wheels on the bottom, which look quite rugged and durable, and they're also removable. So I reckon that if Tropicfeel do replacement wheels, you can replace these out if they break. They're also very quiet to roll as well. Very nice, very smooth. It has a telescopic handle with only one position, or 1.5 positions. I'll show you a little bit more on that later. It also has backpack straps, which is a really cool additional feature. They're held in place by these quite strong magnets here that just sort of clip into place very easily. And you have adjustable straps here on the back. So moving on to the inside of the bag. It's a clamshell opening design, as you can see. There's a big bucket here on the inside, but obviously where most of the stuff is going to go. These extra little bits of fabric here are the side pockets. So the side pockets do eat into the main compartment storage area. Also has a mesh zipper panel here, which opens out into a storage compartment within the lid, as well as an access point for this compartment. Let's say the mesh zipper is closed. You have an access point at the top here for this compartment. It also doubles up as a way to push through that top, the top stowage pouch. You can push that through the out of this compartment here. So that either eats into the main compartment or it eats into the lid compartment. But that's there. So it's just something to be wary of whilst you're packing. There are a few pros and cons to this bag, and I first want to start off with the pros. The very first pro that I like is that it actually looks really nice. It's probably one of my favorite looking bags. It has nice, subtle, imprinted branding, and it has a little bit on the inside. But other than that, it's not a super loud, logo-y bag. All the material on it feels very durable. You can see on the bottom here, I have scraped it on curbs and stuff, and it seems to be holding up relatively well. It would be good if there was some kind of extra durable material here, maybe just like a plastic cover to stop that from wearing too much. But so far it seems to have held up pretty well. There's lots of compartments and organization, so it's fantastic if you're a little organization nerd like me. The wheels on this look very well made. They're very quiet when you're obviously spinning them, but when you're also on gravel, they don't make too much noise. They roll very easily and they look easily replaceable in case they break or wear down. The backpack straps on the back are a really nice added bonus to this. I've not really found a time when I want to use them, but if I want them, they're there. I remember one time when we landed in Siargao in the Philippines, and it was quite dark, and our tuk-tuk driver said, okay, now we have to get out and walk the rest of the way, and it was down this very muddy, very wet jungle path. And unfortunately, I didn't have this bag at the time, but if I did, it would have been quite useful. The expansion feature on this bag adds a lot of additional space. I think it's got to be at least 10 litres in there, but I found that when I went to Bangkok with this and I bought a few extra clothing items back with me, I was able to use the expansion and easily fit everything in there. The dimensions of this bag are compliant for most airlines, but you might have an issue with how tall or long the bag is. It's 70 centimeters long, I believe. Whilst the width and the depth are compliant to most of the airlines, the height of it isn't. And the grab handles, the three that they do have, are all very comfortable. They feel sturdy. It feels like if the bag is fully loaded up, I'm not going to easily pull one of the handles off. So moving on to some of the cons of this bag. The zippers are one of the very biggest gripes of this bag that I have. Let's say you just packed your bag, you close it up, or even when you've emptied it, and you just want to zipper the clamshell shut. These zips will get caught. It's doing it now, which is fantastic. A great example. These zippers will get caught in on themselves. I'm not too sure if you can see it there, but it sort of digs into the front and ends up being at a weird angle, so you can't shut it easily. You have to keep adjusting it the whole way round. Before you can shut it. Even though this is marketed as a carry-on bag, it is quite heavy, coming in at just under 3 kilos, which when you consider some of the weight limits for example, Cebu Pacific, their weight limits are 7 kilos for a carry-on bag. So this bag empty takes up half of that carry-on allowance. And if you're flying with someone like Ryanair, who's a little bit more generous at 10 kilos, then this takes up just under a third of the carry-on weight limit. And when you think this is a 40-litre bag, you can really pack this out, especially with the expansion as well. You're going to very easily hit the 7 kilo weight limit and 10 kilo weight limit. One other con is the telescopic handle. It has 1.5 positions, I say. So you're fully extended, which is fantastic for someone like me who's 6 foot tall, or you have it at this sort of halfway point. After you fully extended, it can kind of come down to this halfway sort of area where it will sit up here, but it will slowly kind of sink down as it's standing up. So it's not great for shorter people. It doesn't have any additional points in which you can lock off the telescopic handle. So that would actually be a really nice added feature if they do revisit this bag. And the last con is to do with these backpack straps and this whole backpack system. It's a really nice to have. However, neither me or Rebecca have actually used it whilst we've had this bag. And you can see it's quite a lot of extra material that's added on, which, you know, all this could be just a little bit extra space for packing, maybe another two or three t-shirts in there. And it does add extra weight. So you could save some weight by not having this. But if you do end up using this as a backpack, then there's no dirt protection on these wheels. So if these wheels do get particularly dirty, then it's a likelihood that your back will also get dirty. Okay, now it's time for a little bit of a small rant. I've been asked a few times in some of the previous videos about the capacity of these bags. Now, this is a 40-litre roller bag, and it could have a little bit more space with the expansion, maybe an additional 10 litres of expansion space. But Tropicfeel market it as 40 to 70 or even 40 to 82 litres. Now, from what I gather, this extra magical 30 to 40 litres comes from putting a backpack on top of it, which is a little bit misleading because I could say this is a 140 litre backpack by just putting on top a 100 litre hiking bag. So that's just something to be wary of. People have asked it. Typically, the extra storage space comes from additional accessories or additional backpacks added on top. So would I recommend this bag? Yes and no. I wouldn't buy it again at full price. I was quite glad that I got a very heavy discount on it. And whilst it's a bit too heavy for carry-on, and it doesn't quite take full advantage of the checked bag sizes, I still think this is the perfect bag for someone like me who doesn't want to take a lot with them on vacation. So I am going to keep it, and I'm going to keep using it. So that's it for this video. If you want to see another one, I have a couple of Tropicfeel trainers that I'm going to review next, and I also have some accessories that I promised to review on the last-ish video that I need to actually review. So those are two videos that are going to be coming up next. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.